Hi students, we never thought that this lockdown would ever happen in human life, not in our wild dreams. But here you see, because of COVID 19, we are undergoing this strange, horrible situation. But still, you have to understand this shutdown period should not disturb our creativity and our learning spirits. And because of that, we have decided to give you some online classes. And I am going to explain the first poem of Class 12 English, My Mother at 66. This poem was written by Kamala Das. Kamala Das was considered as one of the first poets of this country. And she was a very sensitive writer. She touched the complexities of human life in her writings. And the poem My Mother at 66 is about her mother who was really very old. And we know that her mother really influenced her a lot because her mother was also a very famous writer. And the theme of this poem, My Mother at 66, is death, decay, and social loneliness are inseparable parts of human life. Even if we are poor or rich, educated or uneducated, you have to undergo this situation in our life, death, decay, and social loneliness. And that is the central theme of this poem. And now let us go to the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, dolls open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale as the late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. If you look at this poem, we understand this poem is written in only one sentence. And it is written in free verse. It does not have any rhyming scheme. Now let's go to the detail. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. So here, the poet was driving from her home to Cochin airport last Friday morning. And she was traveling along with her mother. Her mother was sitting beside her. And she was dozing. You know the meaning of the word dozing? Dozing means a short sleep. And she was dozing, open-mouthed. And her face ashen like that of a corpse. When the poet looked at her mother, the poet understood her mother is really very old. And here the poet used a figure of speech called simile. You know, simile means comparing one thing with another, using as or like. And here the poet compares her mother's face to a corpse. Corpse means a dead body. So she compares the face of her mother to a dead body, ashen like that of a corpse. And she realized with the pain that she was as old as she looked. And she understood that her mother may not live long. Or when she comes back, she's going to Cochin airport, she's going to travel somewhere, and she may not see her mother again. And that was the realization. That was the sad realization of the poet, that her mother was really very old. And in order to overcome that sadness, just like an escapist, she looked outside. And when she looked outside, she she saw trees sprinting, trees are running, and the merry children, merry means, happy, happy children spilling out of their homes. And you see that two different kinds of images are created. One, her very old mother like a dead body. And another image is young trees and children. And you know that the first image is of the old mother, and the second image, young tree and children. And young tree and children, they symbolizes energy, vitality, active, powerful life. And here, you see the trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away. One more thing here, the trees sprinting. There, the poet has used another figure of speech called personification. Personification means lifeless thing are used living, or lifeless things are animated. And here when the poet says the trees are running, there's an example of a figure of speech, personification. So she reached the airport, and after the airport security check, you know that when you travel by flight, you have to complete certain formalities like a security check. You have to submit all your luggage there. And after the security check, once again, she looked at her mother, wan, pale as a late winter's moon. So once again, the poet is using another simile to compare her mother. And here the poet says wan, pale. Similar in meaning. Wan means sickly, lifeless, and pale is also lifeless. And here another comparison is that her mother was like a late winter's moon. The poet compares her mother to a late winter's moon. And the moon, this waxing and waning. Waxing means moon reached its full light, a full moon. And waning is the opposite, decreasing after a full moon. And here the poet says that late winter's moon, when the moon does not have much light, it's almost dim. And to compare her mother, just like the late winter's moon, without much energy, vigor, life in her, she is very old. So as two very beautiful comparisons are used by the poet here in this poem. First she compares her mother to a corpse, and now she compares her mother to a late winter's moon. So simply to inform us that her mother is really very old and she is really disappointed. And then looked again at her wan, pale as a late winter's moon, and she felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. So when she looked at her mother, the old mother, immediately she thought of the familiar pain, her childhood fear. What was that familiar pain or the childhood fear? That one day she will lose her loving mother. And that is inseparable part of human life. And that's a very painful thing because she really loved her mother a lot. Her mother really influenced her in her writings. And the feeling, the realization that she is going to lose her mother soon because her mother is very old. And that is the familiar ache, pain. And see that here, human being. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. She was really disappointed. And she knew that her mother may not live long. But still, that's a human nature. We are able to hide our reality. And here also, she hid the reality and simply told her mother, see you soon, Amma. You see the meaning of this phrase, see you soon, Amma, the sentence. And the reality. The reality is that the mother may not live long. But she She does not want to convey this reality. She told her mother, see you soon, Amma. And look at the next line. And all I did was smile and smile and smile. You see the figure of speech, a repetition is used there. The word smile is repeated. And with a smile, she told her mother, see you soon. What is the reality? What was going through her mind? The poet knew, the poet realized, mother may not live long, but still she hid all those feelings. And with a smile, she told her mother, see you soon, Amma. And we can see here the complexities of life. In the beginning, I told you, she was a very sensitive writer. The feeling that she may lose her mother. And you see that she loves her mother a lot, but still she cannot stay back and look after her mother, because that is the complexity of human life. She loves her mother, but she cannot, because she has duties to be completed. She cannot stay back and look after her mother. She has to go. That's the complexities of human life. And this beautiful poem is written in a single sentence with a few figures of speeches like a simile, personification, and then we can also see repetition there. And I hope you will read this poem and understand it better. Thank you.